All right, and welcome in everybody. Hope y'all are having a fantastic, fantabulous, awesome freaking day. My name is Garrett Shoemake, and this is the Shoemake Take coming at you with a Week 9 recap. I got to tell you before we start that my belly is full, and I almost fell asleep before I started to get up and record and set up everything to do this gig. So I went to a taco place not too far from where I live. It's called Señor Taco, and currently they have a Taco Tuesday deal where you get a taco for $1.70 each. I got 3 of those bad boys. I got a ground beef, I got a carnitas, and then I got cochinarinas. I can't remember what the word was, but I think it's something around that. 2 of them were pork, and then got the ground beef, and got me some rice, and then for dessert, I got me some homemade fried ice cream. Let me tell you something. About fried ice cream. If y'all have never had fried ice cream, you are missing out. It is one of the best desserts of all time. They take, I think it's cornflakes. I think like by default it's cornflakes. They throw it around the ice cream and then let it freeze for who knows how long in a blast freezer. And then you pull it out, dunk it in the oil for just like a couple seconds, pull it back out. They put it in a taco shell like they do for like taco salads, and then they just drizzle it with a whole bunch of honey, little bit of sugar, to put some whipped cream and a cherry on top, and you got yourself a fantastic Spanish dessert. If you ever had fried ice cream, go try some fried ice cream or try making some yourself. Why not? Give it a whirl. See what you got, right? But that's me to tell you that my belly's full, and I had some great food and almost fell asleep before I started recording this. So thank goodness that I woke myself up. Second of all, my tablet is broken. The tablet itself is fine. The case is a little messed up. As you can tell, I don't know if you guys can see, but it's a little, it's not wanting to go back in, and it's barely like holding on for dear life. So if you guys hear my tablet fall over at some point, I apologize. I'm going to need to get a new case. So until then, we're just going to have to make do with it. And I had it standing, and it no longer stands. That's not good. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Hang on. A little bit of live troubleshooting right here. Come on. Can I get it to close, first of all? If I can get it to close, I can get it to reopen. It's not. Okay, it snapped shut. Great. Now we got it open. And we should be able to open this up, kind of. Okay, we're back on track, thank goodness. So now let's talk about Week 9. Let's put all that to the side, put it on the back burner, and let's go to Week 9. Because Week 9 was a big bounce back for football after Week 8 was so horrible. We had a bunch of close games. We had a bunch of exciting games. Did you guys watch Chicago and Cincinnati? I feel like an idiot for missing that game. That right there was a game of the year. The Bears were up 42-28 or 42-25 or something like that. And then the Bengals score a touchdown. And then they get an onside kick, score another touchdown, take the lead by a point, I think it was, and then Caleb Williams throws a 58-yard bomb to Colson Loveland. The Bengals defender decides that he doesn't want to tackle anymore, and he runs it in for a touchdown to take the lead with 18 seconds left. Like, holy crap. Game of the year right there, and I was too big of a bozo to catch it and at least try and find to watch it like on my free streaming app that I use that I'm not going to mention because not to gatekeep, but I don't want to run the risk of it getting shut down. But with that being said, the rest of the week was really good, really exciting. Too bad a couple games in my top 5 games of the week didn't live up to the hype. But hey, it's not always going to be perfect, but there are some good ones in there regardless. So with that being said, let's recap all of it. Let's break it all down, starting with our top 5 games of the week, and then we'll get to every other game at the end, as we always do, and as we always say. Now it's time to let it recap. Beginning with number 5, the Ravens whooped Miami 28-6, and my bad, Lamar Jackson came back in this game, and he was great. His presence helped really well with Key One running the football. King Henry had 19 carries, 119 yards. That's over 6 yards per carry. He needed that, and the Ravens needed that. And then getting to Key 2, getting Zay Flowers involved, and they are 2 for 2 here. He was the engine of the passing game once again, and while I predicted him to have more yards and grabs than he did, he was still good. And lastly, with Key 3, the Ravens defense did a mostly good job limiting run after the catch. Having everybody back from injury definitely gave this team a boost, but a lot of work still needs to be done. The Ravens look like they could get a little frisky here as they try and make a late playoff run in the second half of the year as they move to 3-5. Now for Miami, they straight up struck out. They were terrible all night, and at this point, the downfall of Tua and Mike McDaniel needs to be studied. I really want to know why it's so bad in Miami, so someone fill me in the comments. But back to the recap in Key 1, they obviously didn't stop the run. We already made that clear. Key 2, pushing the ball down the field was a crapshoot. There was a lot of dump-offs, and no passes really went much further than 10 yards, which really makes it hard to accomplish Key 3, diversifying the run game. Achane was good, credit where it's due, but no other back had more than 3 carries. You gotta use your players, man. They're on your roster for a reason. Use them. Even though I thought Miami would be bad this year, to see it in real time is sad. Part of me wanted to be wrong, but their downfall continues and they fall to 2-7. Then we move to number 4, where the Seahawks destroy the Commanders 38-14. And honestly, I had a feeling this game possibly couldn't go well, but holy, this was awful. And with Jaden Daniels getting hurt, God, it's another sad moment. But Seattle showed who they were tonight, and defensively, they were awesome. Key 1, stopping the run. The box score looks bad, but they were up so much, and with how much success they had in the pass game or just defending the pass, and with Key 2 on defense, winning on 3rd and 4th down, they were all over Jaden Daniels and their offensive line. They ought to walk home after how bad they were in this game. But that being said, they did a good job regardless. And then Key 3, winning in the red zone. They lost, sure, but I mean, look at some of these throws. There was no need. They were cooking up and down the field all night long. Sam Darnold played arguably his best game ever, and right now, JSN should be Offensive Player of the Year. He accounts for nearly half of the team's total receiving yards. Wow! They rise to 6-2, and they are looking legit. Now with Washington, the first 2 keys were a dud. Number 1, stopping JSN. 8 grabs for 129 yards does not fit the bill, and then getting Scary Terry and Debo more involved. Terry McLaurin didn't play. Sorry about that again for not being informed, but they did a horrible job getting the ball to Debo. They tried, but Seattle swarmed it. This passing game was a liability already, but with all the injuries to receivers this year, it ain't getting better, I'm afraid. And finishing with Key 3, they won in the red zone, fine. But with all the other issues in this game, it's hard to give them serious credit. Should have pulled Daniels out much sooner, Dan Quinn. Big L for that one. Commanders fall to 3-6. Moving to number 3, the Denver Broncos kick a game winner in Houston, winning 18-15, and it was the battle of defensive bullies indeed. For Denver in Key 1, they could not get the pass game going consistently, but they hit 2 long touchdowns, this one to Cortland Sutton, and this next one to RJ Harvey. Look at that. It was enough, but they still need to see more. I still need to see more. With Key 2 bullying CJ Stroud, they did until he got hurt, and Jesus, that's another heartbreaker. A big narrative in this recap so far, but so many good players are getting hurt, and the NFL honestly needs to do something about it. It's been horrible. But back to the point with Key 3, no turnovers. They lost a turnover battle, but I was wrong. I thought that whoever lost a turnover battle would lose, but Denver did what they've done all year. They found a way to win, and they move to 7-2 on the year. And then for Houston, once CJ Stroud went down, it kind of sealed the Texans' fate, to be honest, and part of it had to do with Key 1 for them. They did not take pressure off any of their quarterbacks. They allowed 4 sacks, only 77 yards on the ground. They couldn't capitalize off the turnovers. Denver's defense did a great job, but Houston was good enough as well. Key 2 for them was to bend and not break, and they kept their team in this game until they fell apart at the end. But when the offense isn't scoring and maintaining possession, that puts a lot more pressure on them to do their job. Then lastly with Key 3, they won the turnover battle, but again, they could not capitalize, and their record is going to suffer for it. They fall to 3-5. Now at number 2, the Patriots escape a win against Atlanta 24-23, and had it not been for this missed extra point, we'd have a completely different ball game. but it was still a good one nonetheless, still the best in Super Bowl 51, starting with the Falcons in Key 1, using the pass to set up the run. They definitely tried to get Bijan going. They did, but New England was all over it, showing their run-stuffing prowess again, but at the cost of Drake London playing awesome in this game. He had a hat trick and touchdowns. Look at some of these catches, absolutely nuts. But getting back to Bijan with Gitu, getting him more touches. 20 is better than 12 last week, and he had nearly 100 scrimmage yards. So by rule, that's a pass. There's improvement. But if Atlanta wanted to win, they definitely needed a little bit more out of him. And then going to Key 3, they did not limit the deep ball. They were able to force this interception and also had a big fumble recovery right before halftime. Shout out Jalen Walker. But Drake May was able to make the throws that Michael Penix simply didn't have the opportunities to have. So with that, they also fall 2, 3, and 5. They got to be more consistent considering the talent that they have. Getting to New England, what a win for them. They are riding a 6-game win streak. And for them, and for this game, it started with Key 1. They ran the ball good enough to help this passing game when it had its struggles. Make no mistake, it wasn't all good. So them running the ball better as a team helps them out. Key 2, scoring points. This is why it matters. They won it by 1 point, which was enough to get the win. And then Key 3, they limited the penalties and won that battle. Only 2 for 15 yards. That's fantastic. So they get an A+ from me for that one, and that's going to put them at 7-2. And here we are with the game number 1. Buffalo defeats Kansas City 28-21, and this was fun. Plenty of momentum shifts, but one thing that didn't shift was KC's offense not running the ball, getting to Key 1. And the limited carries that he had, I thought Kareem Hunt was good. And I'm surprised they didn't try to run the ball more. They should have, considering Buffalo won time of possession by nearly 10 minutes. But Key 2 staying on schedule, that's another miss. Patrick Mahomes was off the mark, a career-low 44% completion percentage, and the offense being awful on third down isn't going to get it done. But Key 3, getting the ball last. I was wrong here. I thought whoever had it last would win. This big throw to Xavier Worthy definitely made some hearts sink for a moment, but credit to Buffalo's defense for standing tall and knocking the Chiefs down to 5-4. And alrighty, Buffalo! Fantastic win all around. Plenty of praise here with Key 1 starting here, throwing the kitchen sink at Steve Spagnuolo. James Cook, once again, was awesome. And Josh Allen completed passes to 10 different receivers, setting a franchise record as well with an 88% completion percentage. That's a tale of two sides, isn't it? On defense, Key 2 was to slow down Mahomes. They were great, but how'd they do it? They got in behind the sticks, got consistent pressure, and their corners played great out of structure. Shout out Maxwell Harrison, the rookie first-round pick, for getting his first career interception. Congratulations to him. But bigger credit to Cole Bishop. He was all over the field, and he had multiple critical pass breakups. He was phenomenal in this game, so big shout out to him. And lastly, with Key 3 getting the ball last, it didn't work out that way, but man, it would have felt a lot better had Matt Prater made that kick. But a win is a win, and they move to 6-2 on the year. Okay, now top 5 games are out of the way. Sad that the Ravens-Dolphins game and that Commanders and Seahawks did not live up to the hype. But honestly, like I said in the beginning, you're not going to get them all right. I'm just happy that my number 1 game was successful. I mean, it kind of sucks because it was kind of by default, if I'm being honest with you a little bit. But I mean, the Patriots-Falcons game was interesting. There was plenty of ups and downs. And then the Texans-Broncos game ended up being close and competitive like I thought it would be. Obviously, it wasn't the best game. And, you know, the Bears and Bengals was the best game of the year straight up so far this year at this point. But, I mean, I can't complain too much. But looking at some of these other games and looking at how I did, honestly, it was up and down, but I'm not going to be upset about it for once because we got a good week of football. Well, let's look at the rest of the games and see what happened. Booting up the graphic now. Here we go. First up, the Colts lose to the Steelers 27-20. I'm going to say it right now, hot take. Sorry, the Colts are frauds. They traded for Sauce Gardner and traded 2 first-round picks. What a terrible overpay. Not that Sauce Gardner's bad, but he was not worth 2 first-round picks. But back to the point, that is 2 games now where the Colts, against really good football teams, have lost, have not looked as good. Jonathan Taylor was slowed down, and they got a gauntlet of teams on the rest of their schedule. Are they going to be able to show who they are, or are they going to fall? So we'll have to follow that, because that's something that I've got my eye on. And then next one, 49ers defeat the Giants 34-24. Giants were competitive, as people probably expected, and the 49ers continue to be really good on offense and defense. I mean, not much more to say with San Francisco. They've definitely proven me wrong this year, so to see them do so well is very encouraging. Makes me happy. Then Chargers-Titans. That one, I mean, obviously the Chargers were going to win. I'm picking the Titans to lose every single game the rest of the year because it's obvious that we're tanking. But the Titans made it close. But you should go watch my reaction video because I was irate that Mike McCoy, interim head coach, was so bad in that game. And then Vikings-Lions. Vikings win 27-24. J.J. McCarthy came back and got his first win in Detroit, also undefeated in Michigan, by the way, in the state of Michigan. So if you want a stat head, there you go. But great win for the Vikings. They needed that. They really needed that, especially against a divisional opponent on the road. That's not an easy win. So very good for them. That's nice to see. And then Bears-Bengals, we mentioned it, 47-42 Chicago. I picked Chicago to win this game, and they did not disappoint except on defense. Oh my goodness. The defenses didn't even show up in this game at all. But Chicago still won it. What an amazing finish. Very great game. Panthers-Packers. The Panthers beat Green Bay in Green Bay off a game-winning field goal. And at this point, I don't know what to make of either Green Bay or Carolina. Carolina is either really good or really bad, which, by the way, they're 5-4 now, which is interesting. And then Green Bay, they're either really dominant or they struggle against bad football teams. I mean, they do not play up to competition at all. Or no, they do a worse job at playing down to competition than they do playing up to competition. I don't know exactly what I'm trying to say here, but I think you guys understand where I'm coming from. But the Saints versus Rams, Tyler Shuck's first start did not go well at all. The Rams won 34-10 and absolutely walloped on them, and that was to be expected. And then Jags-Raiders. Jaguars win it 30-29 in overtime. Did not expect it to be as close as it was, but shout out Cam Little for an NFL record 68-yard field goal. Wow. Wow. Justin Tucker's probably rolling on his massage table right about now seeing that happen. But Cam Little, shout out to him. Great kick. And especially after he missed one too, the way to bounce back is fantastic. And then Cardinals, Cowboys. I don't remember the final score. I think Cowboys lost. It was 27-17, I'm pretty sure. The Cardinals were all over Dallas, and at this point, Dallas, I don't know what to make of them either. They look really good one week, and they look really bad the next. Cardinals snap a 5-game losing streak, so that's good for them, and it looks like they're going to roll with Jacoby Brissett the rest of the year. Marvin Harrison has looked better. Trey McBride has scored more touchdowns compared to being with Kyler Murray, and that's unfortunate. It looks like Kyler Murray's time in Arizona is quickly coming to a close. So, with that being said, that is going to do it for today's recap. I hope you guys have enjoyed. How you guys feel about your team this week? Are you happy? Are you upset? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments down below. Secondly, make sure you guys like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're trying to reach 500 subscribers before the end of the 2025 regular season. Kind of hit a little bit of a stalemate at the moment, if I'm being honest. So we really got to get the word out and get people onto the Shoemake Take and hit those 2 buttons and get me in the algorithm, guys. You guys have done a great job so far, so please get the momentum going again. Lastly, follow me on social media, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. I put out a poll in my community post on YouTube asking people what social media platform they use the most. So please go in there, answer with which one you use the most, and so that way I can start actually allocating time to posting on social media and helping you communicate more with you guys to build a community, right? Because I've talked about this before, instead of focusing on taking my social media and making it an extension of the channel, it should be more an extension of me. The only thing is it's just really hard to kind of get the motivation to do it because I haven't posted like any personal stuff on social media in like almost 10 years. So it's kind of hard to kind of like get it going, but I promise we're going to be getting stuff really soon. And so with that being said, that's going to do it. Hope you guys have enjoyed. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys as always, and I will see you all next time.